Parks Sr. describe him. Family and friends honored the veteran MTA bus driver that was shot and killed while working this week in Baltimore. WJZ is live tonight. Amy Kawada shows us how classmates and family are remembering his life. Amy?
Rachel, Marcus Parks Sr. was an all-star student and athlete, class of '89 at Lake Clifton Eastern High School, which he loved dearly and was adored by so many. Tonight, hundreds of people in the community came together to honor his life.
We have come to honor the life of a great man.
Blue and yellow shined throughout the evening.
Laker for life! Put the arms up!
As Lake Clifton Eastern High School's class of '89 sported their colors in honor of their dear former classmate, Marcus Parks Sr., who was shot and killed Thursday morning at work.
Everybody know my father didn't deserve to go out like this.
He was known as a peacemaker who made a positive impact on the future generation of Baltimore.
You know, he went the extra mile when a lot of people don't.
51-year-old Marcus Parks Sr. was a proud father of 3, grandfather, uncle, and friend to many. He spent the past 20 years as an MTA bus driver, devoting his time transporting passengers around Baltimore, a community he adored.
He loved interacting with the public. That was why he was out on the line with, the passengers.
On Thursday morning, police say Parks was shot by a passenger attempting to board his bus in East Baltimore. Just hours later, 24-year-old Cameron Silcott and 27-year-old Nichelle Green were taken into custody and charged with first and second-degree murder, along with several weapons charges in connection to the shooting. Now, loved ones are pushing for some change in Baltimore.
There's too much violence going on.
A light in this world, family and friends say will be missed dearly. And funeral arrangements are currently being organized by Parks' family. Meanwhile, the 2 suspects are being held without bail. A preliminary hearing is set at the...
Heart-wrenching and shocking to the conscious. That's how Baltimore's police commissioner described the killing of a veteran MTA bus driver. Tonight, 2 suspects are under arrest, charged with murder. This comes as the victim's family mourns the loss of a man who they say was a devoted father, grandfather, and friend. WJZ is live. Rachel Menitoff with how Marcus Parks is being remembered tonight. Rachel.
Vic, good evening. His family describes him as loving, lively, and a jokester at heart. They say they can't understand why someone would do this.
He was a God-fearing man.
Marcus Parks Sr.
He instilled that in us.
Was a father of 3, a proud grandfather, uncle, and friend to many.
I take a lot of tricks after my father because I joke and play a lot. I just bring good energy, and that's what my father was. He was good energy.
Parks was killed while working his normal bus route Wednesday in East Baltimore. Police say 24-year-old Cameron Silcott and 27-year-old Nichelle Green are both charged with first-degree murder and other weapons charges in connection to the case.
Every life lost to senseless violence is a grim reminder of the impact that these heartbreaking tragedies have on families and communities in Baltimore.
Police and other tactical units tracked the suspects down after a standoff outside Perkins' Homes, less than 6 blocks away from the site of the murder.
For something as tragic as this to happen at the age of 51 is horrible, and it's unbelievable that someone would want to take his life.
Parks was an all-star student and athlete, class of '89 at Lake Clifton Eastern High School. His friend and classmate says he had the unique ability to inspire others.
What I can say is that I don't think it's anybody that came up in this era that don't know Marcus Parks Sr.
A veteran employee of the MTA, Parks valued his work in the city of Baltimore and instilled that same work ethic in his 3 sons.
It was that push that he gave us that we definitely needed so that we could, move a little bit forward and, kind of teach us to be strong black men.
Parks' family is now in the process of making funeral arrangements. Meanwhile, the 2 suspects are being held without bail. Their next court appearance will be a preliminary hearing at the end of the month.
Around 10:30 this morning, we had an officer here in the 1200 block of East Fayette Street when he heard gunshots. His attention was drawn to the corner just behind me. He saw a bus and he saw a bus driver out on the ground who had just been shot. Additionally, he observed the suspect. He did attempt to chase the suspect. However, the officer was not able to apprehend or catch the suspect. He returned and We found a 51-year-old male bus driver who had been shot. Ultimately, unfortunately, he was pronounced dead on the scene. From what we know, the bus driver had just pulled the bus over and let all the passengers off. The suspect attempted to board the bus, at which time the bus driver told him he couldn't. An argument ensued. The suspect then snatched the bus driver's bag and ran. The bus driver chased him, at which point the suspect turned and shot him.
Man who drove MTA buses for 20 years was gunned down last week. Now, the two suspects accused in his murder face a judge. WJZ is live. Rachel Carden with updates on the case and details from charging documents. Rachel.
Vic, court documents say what started as an argument over a bus fee ended in the loss of a life. Today, Cameron Silcott and Nichelle Green faced a judge, and they were denied bail after being charged with murder and assault. A father, a friend, and an MTA operator for decades, 51-year-old Marcus Parks was killed last Thursday morning while driving a bus in the city.
Everybody know my father didn't deserve to go out like this.
On Tuesday, the two suspects accused of killing Parks, 24-year-old Cameron Silcott and 27-year-old Nichelle Green, appeared before a judge in separate bail review hearings, facing charges of murder and assault. Court documents say Silcott and Green were arguing with Parks over a bus payment when Green snatched Parks' backpack and she and Silcott ran off the bus. While running along East Fayette Street, documents say Parks got off his bus and chased the two. As he re-engaged with them, documents say Silcott pulled out a handgun, shot Parks multiple times, and as Parks fell, Silcott shot him over and over again. Police say the suspects maliciously murdered Parks that day. Friends and classmates from Lake Clifton Eastern High School say Parks exemplified what a hardworking Baltimorean should look like.
He went the extra mile when a lot of people don't.
He loved interacting with the public. That was why he was out on the line with, the passengers.
Parks leaves behind 3 sons, grandchildren, and countless friends. Court documents say that police did search the suspect's home, and inside they found Parks' backpack, his ID, his MTA key, and gun cartridges matching the ammo used in the handgun, but no weapon. We know that the two suspects are expected to have preliminary hearings in the coming months. We're live outside of Baltimore City Police Headquarters. I'm Rachel Carden for WJZ.